A man spent all his savings on a first-class plane ticket just to get a face-to-face meeting with the CEO of an airline. But right after shaking his hand, the wealthy executive pulled out sanitizer and started disinfecting his hands repeatedly. Jack then pitched his idea, launching a low-cost airline so that even the poor could afford to fly. The CEO scoffed at him. In his eyes, airplanes were a luxury meant only for the wealthy. He ordered the flight crew to move Jack back to economy, but Jack refused to budge. He had paid for a first-class seat and no one had the right to force him out. The CEO, disgusted by the idea of sitting next to someone poor, leaned over and whispered something to the flight attendant. Moments later, the cabin speakers crackled to life. Due to a technical issue, the plane needed to turn back. Jack was kicked off the flight. What the CEO didn't know was he had just ignited a rivalry that would change everything. As Jack walked out of the airport, a venture capitalist approached him. He had overheard Jack's business pitch on the plane and was intrigued. Jack took him to a local diner to discuss the idea. The investor looked around, unimpressed. "Why not a five-star hotel?" he asked. Jack waved it off and asked the waiter to bring a pizza. The man reluctantly took a bite and was instantly hooked by the taste. Jack explained, "The food here is just as good as in fancy hotels. The hygiene standards are solid, but the price, less than 1/10. Same goes for air travel," he continued. "Cut out unnecessary luxury. Build our own booking system. Eliminate middlemen. Even cheap tickets can turn a profit." He also planned to run flights in 3 shifts, keeping planes in the air up to 14 hours a day. With that kind of efficiency, Jack said, it's harder not to make money. The investor was sold. He arranged for Jack to meet the board. Jack came in armed with data and a solid